Hi, this is the Lourdes and Chris show. This vision of beauty, intelligence, and all things amazing is my wife, Lourdes. And I'm more excited than a cat in a fish market.
Yeah, that cat would be excited, he said.
That's how excited I am.
Well, and this is my husband, who is just an extraordinary human being who really just helps me in everything. I don't know how to explain it, but he's fun. He brings up my spirit, especially when I'm just like going crazy. So
it's a two-way street.
This is the man right here.
This is the woman right here.
And we're really excited today because we have today Jill.
Yep. And Shanna. The Detox Girls.
The Detox Girls.
I didn't know she wanted me to say it. Yeah, they're the Detox
Girls.
Girls.
Like, come on, baby. So we have Jill and Shanna, the Detox Girls, on today.
That's what's up.
They are fabulous. Many people already know who they are, and those who don't know who they are, you're about to find out who these extraordinary women are.
Yeah, you're going to want to get to know them.
Yes. They're going to come and share not only their stories, but amazing stuff that you are going to want to be a part of, because it's going to turn your life around, and I'm talking health.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yep.
So before we get into that, we did want to take a moment to thank all of
all those who have donated.
Right, all of our supporters that have donated and helped us move this cause forward.
Those who have shared and who have subscribed.
Yeah, subscribed, liked, and shared. And we know who you are. We see you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, because it helps immensely. We're getting the word out. We're changing the health around mind, body, and spirit.
Yep.
Because health is your best wealth.
Yep. And I got to tell you, we've always been busy helping people in all parts of the world that are dealing with, whether it's cancer or any type of health issue, really. And it's crazy since the show how we've gotten even more crazy busy.
What did Mother Teresa say? Mother Teresa had that famous saying where she said something to the effect of, God, I know that you're not going to give me any more than I can handle, but sometimes I wish you didn't have that much faith in me. Yeah. So it's one of those things where, like, it's what we signed up for. We want, and so we're glad
and you know
to do
what?
it.
But I am glad that he has that much faith in us, because it is a great feeling when you help advocate for others and help them in their journey, when they need to talk, when they need to find other information, because they're overwhelmed with too much information. So, we share all the information we get from so many doctors, so many scientists, so many other health advocates that have done so much research, that they have tried themselves, done it with others, or just in many studies that they've seen, because there are studies out there that show so much successes.
Yeah, the Detox Girls are right in line with that.
Yes.
They're on Facebook. They have their own website. Yep. They're on Instagram.
Yep.
Actually, if you do a search on the Detox Girls, they're them. You have to say the Detox Girls.
You have to use the THE, just like the Lourdes and Chris show.
Yeah, but they're in line with what we're saying. It's like
which is why we have them on the show, because it's like I met them and wow. So can't wait to share them with you. And I got to tell you, every time we've helped people, which your donations help us to help others, because then we can put all our energy and time to that. But I love, and you guys know who you are, when you come back and you reach out to us and you give us an update.
Right.
There's nothing more fulfilling than when you get an update from someone who is dying, who's no longer dying, who was ill, who is no longer ill. Like when we get those, those updates, it really does fulfill our soul, because it's what we were signed up to do. Yeah,
it's validation.
It's validation every time. It's like I go and I go, okay, God, sometimes I get overwhelmed. Are we on the right path? And all of a sudden He's just like, and here you go. And then someone reaches out, and I'm just like, it is. And of course, then I get emotional. But it is really fulfilling to help others turn their health around and turn their lifestyle around.
Yeah, and then in the upcoming episodes, we're going to be discussing like how this was clearly our calling. So you're going to see that real soon. But for tonight, we're going to talk to the Detox Girls. And the reason why they call it the Detox Girls is because, honestly, detox is the most important first step for everybody. And I think you're seeing that over and over again. So there might be a theme to that.
There is a theme to that.
Yeah, so the Detox Girls, ready to get into it?
Let's go. Here they go.
The Detox Girls.
So we are excited. Hi, girls. It's like, oh my gosh, we have Jill and Shanna on the show today.
They should probably introduce themselves.
Yes.
Because we'll be like, Jill and Shanna. I'd be like, who's who? Because I'm not Jill or Shanna.
That's true.
Well, we can do that. Hi, everybody. I'm Jill. I'm Shanna.
And we are the Detox
The
Girls.
Detox Girls.
I love that.
Yeah. So we're excited to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
It's such an honor to have you guys. I mean, I see everything you guys are up to. Like, I just been going, I'm like, oh, they have to be on our show. Like, everything I watch, your videos, the stuff you're doing, the lives you're changing. So I'm like, we totally have to talk to them. So kind of share with the audience, like, what got you guys started to be the Detox Girls and how you're, where you're at today.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. So Shanna and I have similar but very different backgrounds. So the similarities come in. We are both moms. We both have 2 kids. We're both wives. And Shanna has a personal story I'll let her go to. But our families were in some health crisis. And we found ourselves, not able to get the help that we needed from the regular mainstream medical doctors. And so we started doing research on our own. 3 years ago, I met Shanna because I was looking into heavy metal detox, and I asked a question in a group, and I got this lovely message from this lovely lady, and we started chatting, and it was amazing because as we started talking, we had a lot of similarities, and we were both moms, and we loved to research. So it was, she would say something, and I would come back with a question. And she'd be like, oh, wait a minute, that's a deep research thing. So let's talk about that. And then she would come back with research. And so we would just go on. And it came to be that we couldn't stop talking. We talked every day. And so she really helped push me into a catalyst of heavy metal detox. And we learned about regenerating the body together and what we needed to do for our families, how we could handle that as moms. And then we went further than that. So I'm a mom. I love the research. I was helping my family, and we had to do that outside of mainstream medicine, sadly, because we had exhausted all of our doctor options. And I started getting tidbits. Facebook was an amazing resource for me because I would gravitate towards people who were throwing research out, and I would get a piece of the puzzle, and it would just propel me into understanding the next thing. And then I would get the next piece of the puzzle, and then the next, and then we would go to the doctor, and I would ask a question, and they would have no idea what I was talking about. Finally found a functional medicine doctor, and a whole lot of money later, he's like, oh, this is great. I know exactly what the problem is. And that's what I had already written down on the paper. And not to say that I'm like better than a functional medicine doctor, but when you have a family that is, you're working on their health, one patient inside and out, every single thing about them. Whereas they are excited because they have this generalized thing that they can bring to you, which is great because I'm glad that he knew everything he knew. But I knew more about my family than he knew. And that's just from being a mom. So, but that's how I met Shanna. And are we coming up on 4 years now? I feel like we've been saying 3 years forever. I think we're at 4
feel like it too.
Yeah, I think we're at 4 years now.
We're like each other's family. So
But that's so great. I love how you said that though you did all the work and you saw exactly what was needed and what to do, here comes a functional medicine doctor, and he did all this, he's got this background, he's done these things, but he came up with the same answers, showing, right? That if we do our research correctly, if we really do stop, go outside the box, because we just go, well, no, the conventional medicine doctor said, and we get stuck there. And then we think there's no other way. But when we step out of that, we can find the very things that people got a degree for. We don't have to have a degree to learn something.
That's right. I appreciate you saying that. Yes.
Yeah. And the other thing that kind of struck me was that you said that it was a community thing as a group. You guys met each other through a community thing. And that's how Lourdes got a lot of her research done too, is because, if you ask the questions, there are a lot of people out there who know enough. When Lourdes was facing cancer, she was like, I'm going to heal this naturally. And as if by manifest destiny or whatever you want to call it, by her saying the words, the people that healed themselves naturally from cancer, were available to her. She could just reach out and find them. And all of them were universally willing to talk to her about their story, what they had gone through, what they would recommend. And I think that's amazing because I think community has gotten this conversation a lot further than, and especially like you said with Facebook, than
ever before. So that's amazing.
Yeah, actually, I think of that one scripture. Remember that we were just talking about it yesterday.
Mhm.
If you ask not, you receive not.
Yep.
Yeah. You have not because you ask not.
Right.
Yes,
You have not because
yes.
you
You
ask not,
have
right.
not because you ask not. So the moment you state it, God
Mhm.
comes along and goes, "Well, here you go.
Yeah. Got it for you.
Yep.
Got you.
Mhm.
Right here, here's the
Absolutely.
community." Yeah,
Yep.
love that.
All right, Shanna, you're up.
Okay. Well, my story, I'm not going to go super in depth because it's a long story, but my story started, I'm a teen mom. So my daughter was born whenever I was 17 in high school. And she's my oldest. We have 2 kids. And right after she was born, they told me I had cervical cancer. And so that was kind of the turning point. Whenever they took me in to do the testing and everything, they said they have it back in 2 weeks. 1 week later, the doctor calls me on a Sunday. We were at a church picnic, actually. I remember very vividly because it was the day I met Fran, my absolute bestest friend, other than Jill and my husband. And the doctor called me and she said that they got the test results back early, but she's sending them in for more, but they're not showing any HPV virus or anything, not even cancer, nothing, but she knew it was cancer. So she's sending it back in. And so I remember my daddy looked in my eyes and he just broke down crying. And it was the first time I saw my husband cry, and they cried because the cancer was completely gone. So that was my first bout of healing, right? So then whenever I'm 25, I go in thinking my appendix is going to rupture. They take me into emergency surgery. I come out with a full hysterectomy.
Wow.
Yeah. And so what happened was I had a copper IUD and they thought it had punctured something. And whenever they opened me up, I'm the only known medical case that they know of so far that was not born with stage 4 endometriosis and still had children. So within 3 years, I went from nothing to developing stage 4 endometriosis, and they had to do a full hysterectomy. And whenever they did, it had ruptured my intestines. So they had to take out my intestines and fix them. They had to bring in a specialist, and they had to bring in a bone specialist. They said within 6 months, I would have had a colostomy bag if they hadn't done it. They would have had to take in my intestines. And then within 5 years, I'd have died of bone cancer. They had to bring in a bone cancer specialist in to scrape my bones. My pelvic bone was permeating. So that kind of began my journey. The doctors, they took 2 years and $80,000 to determine what I told them all along is that my intestines were paralyzed and they wouldn't work. So they put me on 5 years dosing of double dose Miralax to be able to use the bathroom on my own, and a diet of drinking Ensures.
Ensures.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, the medical system's nutrition.
I know, it's like the worst thing.
Right.
ever.
Right.
Wait,
The
you say
nutrition.
nutrition.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
So I remember walking into my son was in kindergarten, my daughter was in 3rd grade, walking into their charter school, and they called an ambulance because my skin was green, my eyes were yellow, I was septic. My appendix did end up rupturing and they did have to remove that. But that was my journey, and I was forced into menopause at 25 years old. And I refused hormones. I wouldn't take hormones or anything. So I did it naturally with diet and exercise. I ended up getting myself off of all of the icky stuff and doing my own diet and doing my own research. This was before the internet. So
Yeah, right.
I had to go to the library and find it all out myself. But that kind of springboarded my healing. Then our son at 3 years old, we almost lost him overnight. He had walking pneumonia and whooping cough, and we went to the ER and they gave him the DTaP vaccine whenever he was sick.
Wow.
And I took him back to the ER that night because he went limp and I didn't know what was wrong. And I remember they were going to send me back home, but there was a doctor, I remember his name was Dr. Young. And he walked past and he was brand new, and he came back and he said, "What's wrong?" And I told him, and he admitted him. And his wife was a naturopath, and she also did allergy testing. And she told me, she was like, "You can never vaccinate this child again." And so he was in the hospital for 5 days over his 3rd birthday.
Oh, poor little guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
tell them what the doctor said to you. If you would not have come back to the
Oh,
ER.
yeah. If I hadn't have come back that night, I would have woken up to a dead baby.
Wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And
So
the
that
kids-
was another
the
healing
kids
journey.
or something, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that was another healing journey of trying to figure out how to heal him as well. Throughout his life, he was sick all the time.
Well, commendations to you for knowing there had to be a better way, and that's a common thing we see again and again and again with all the people that we talk to, is that they look into the situation and they just think there has to be a better way, and I think that's the starting point for a lot of people, just the acknowledgement that there has to be a better way, and then doing your own research and taking control of it. We call it option C ourselves. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to review options A, B, and C, but A is just do what the doctors tell you to do because they're in control, they're in charge. B is to do absolutely nothing at all, which is shocking how many people prefer that option. And then C is do your own research, figure out what works best for you and for your family, and implement that plan. Take responsibility for your own health. So that's
because
what
most
we call option C.
we've gotten so programmed to not take care of ourselves, to there is nothing, it just happens and you have no control of it, when in reality the things that we do is what causes the things that we experience. And when we learn that that's what's the case, we then turn that around, and which is why we then get better. But most people are trained and programmed that no, that's not the way it works. So then they just keep taking that pill.
Well, from birth on, we're inundated to believe that the doctors know better and they know best, and to just shush and do as you're told. So, on that, we are gonna take our first break. Actually, we're gonna talk about a product in our break from a doctor we absolutely love, and who is not like that doctor, Dr. Newsom. And so, when we come back from the break, we'll continue the conversation, and we'll get to the root of the Detox Girls.
Yes.
Can't wait.
We'll be right back.
Super Earth Energy.
Super Earth Energy.
For nearly 2 decades, Dr. Newsom was developing this formula.
This one.
2 decades of his life, nearly 2 decades.
I mean, that's really dedication to giving you the best quality of a supplement that's going to give you not only energy, I mean, it improves adrenal and,
Well, so it improves your adrenal and muscle fatigue.
Yep.
It actually helps with chronic fatigue syndrome, a compromised immune system, sleep deficit, brain fog.
which many are experiencing a low sexual desire. I mean, this 2 decades, there's a reason. He put a great formula together. He formulated, and it's just amazing. Like, we love it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's like we were just telling our daughter the other day. It's not like it gives you like a caffeine jittery feeling. It's more like you're just awake.
Yeah, like, when you were a kid and you didn't feel, kids they seem to not get tired. So it's kind of that. You don't go, oh, I feel like all this caffeine. It's none of that, because I personally can't do caffeine. It causes me nausea, migraines. I just can't do caffeine. But I take this and I just don't feel tired. Like, I can spend a whole day really getting a lot of things done and not feel exhausted, or I have to take a nap, or I still do my meditation stuff, but oh my gosh, amazing.
It's because it's giving you energy at a cellular level. Now, all you have to do to get this product is go to www.drnewsom.com and look for Super Earth Energy. We've got it ourselves, but we should do a little, still show them what that bottle looks like. And there it is, Super Earth Energy. That's right. Go to drnewsom.com.
Yes. drnewsom.com. In fact, right here, we see the link.
Oh, see, now I got to put it there. I was going to put it there now, but now it's going to be there.
Or he can still put it here, but definitely here.
It's going to be 2 places now.
Super Earth Energy.
All right, we're back. We were actually I think we were wrapping up pretty nicely, actually. Like, we're pros or something, like we know what we're doing on your guys' story. But we kind of want to know a bit more about the Detox Girls, how that came about. What is the Detox Girls? How can we find you guys?
Yes, sure. Absolutely. So as Shanna and I were saying, we connected and our hearts connected, and we started talking every day. And it was amazing how we research in the same way. Actually, Shanna and I laugh because we feel like we together make one person. Whatever, if somebody is lacking something, the other one seems to be able to pick it up very quickly and just sort of run with it. So anytime we are creating content or doing anything, we always run it by each other because the other picks it up. So I think we're back to, between 3 and 4 years ago, Shanna said to me, we should create a Facebook group. So we created a safe and natural healing Facebook group, and we just loved all things all natural, ancient healing. And we just kind of talked about all different ancient healing methods. We didn't really have a purpose, a niche, anything like that. We were just all natural all the time. And we had, a few members here and there, and we started building it nice and slowly. But at one point, Shanna and I just became really very very knowledgeable in detox. And it was a little over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And we changed our group name to the Detox Girls, because that's what everybody seemed to acknowledge us as. We knew all things detox. So we did a Facebook group, and now we have an Instagram, we have a website. So our Facebook group is the Detox Girls, and our Instagram is _detox_girls. Okay. And then we have our website, thedetoxgirls.com. So pretty much as long as you have to have the at the beginning, and we are more than one. So that Detox Girls, and we're on YouTube. You can Google us. We're pretty much everywhere.
That's just good marketing, really.
Yeah, that's great marketing. That's great, because that way you can get,
keep it
more
simple.
to, yeah,
The
where you
Detox
can,
Girls, yeah.
where you can get more of the masses of really getting to learn about, because detox is, especially in our time today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, just in general for the past few decades, we're just bombarded with so many toxins, whether it's in the air, whether it's, that many people are just eating all this processed foods and stuff, not knowing the damage it's causing. So we breathe
fast food, high fructose corn syrup,
everything. So we have to get that junk out.
Yeah, for real. And it's funny too, because the detox, I think, would probably be, universally can be agreed upon that is crucial for us to turn our health around, is to detox, because the root of all of our illnesses comes from toxins.
Yeah. In fact,
we're in a toxic
there
environment.
was like Dr. Newsom has said, it's hard to try to heal something when you have, the junk in the way. So you kind of have to clear it out, so then you can now start repairing.
Well, even Sherry Calabam, who we just had on last week, and if you didn't see that lady, the juice lady, if you didn't see that episode, you can actually still watch it on the LourdesAndChris.com. But she actually kind of alludes to the same thing. The first thing they do in a 30-day detox, which we're starting tomorrow, is to detox the colon, because that's the highway for everything else to get out of you. So that makes perfect sense. The detoxing is still her biggest proponent right there on the start.
Totally. Yeah, that seems like it's like that's the base, is detox.
Yeah. Oh, it's so important. That's what Jill and I do in the Facebook group, especially, and then we put them on the YouTube and on our website. Is we do a lot of education on the physiology of the body and how the body works, what causes certain disease, what is the negative positive feedback loop going on with, how to advocate to your doctor. Jill is phenomenal. You've never met anybody better than Jill at that. Yes.
You know that for real. Because whenever Lourdes advocates for people, or she's trying to advise people, it's like she says, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight with them on this.
And you have to know exactly what to say.
But you have rights, and how you say
it.
So I love that you guys do that.
Yes. And Jill worked for a specialty of how many doctors, Jill?
65 multi-specialty doctor practice. Yeah. For 27 years.
Nice.
So you might know something.
I might know a thing or two. And I was one, so I started in that practice. There was only one doctor that was there longer than I was. All of the other doctors were newer than me. And people see doctors with a God complex. They're afraid to talk to your doctor. There's this white coat syndrome. You go in and you just freeze. You don't know what to say. And they're walking out the door, and they've got their hand on the door to go out. And you're like, doctor, I have another question. And they're done, and the problem is that electronic medical records, there's so much to fill out now, and they are so focused on getting all of the legalities done that we have forgotten that there's a patient sitting in front of us, a patient who needs their help and is paying you for your time with their insurance dollars. And I remind people of that. You have a scheduled appointment. This is your time. You've paid for this time. So you need to go in prepared. Everything in writing. I love when people say, here, this is my list of symptoms. These are my questions. And, take a whole week to think about it, because have you ever had a discussion with somebody or an argument, and when you walk away, you're like, and another thing. Well, that's how health is. So you write down all of your symptoms, and then all of a sudden you realize that you've normalized your headaches or your fatigue. And so as you write everything down, it clears your mind, and you can walk around during that week going, wait, and another thing. You know, I didn't sleep well last night. I woke up with a headache. I'm not going to the bathroom as I should. So we have to learn to not normalize things. We have to learn to write everything down, and then challenging questions. Sorry, I didn't realize we were going to get off on the advocacy talk.
Yeah,
But-
no,
so
This
the
is
cha-
great.
the challenging questions become, what is the root cause? Why is my body doing this? Okay, so you're going to give me a diagnosis, remembering that a diagnosis is a label of your symptoms. It creates an ICD-10 code, which they then can go to the insurance company to get your visit paid for, to get are we allowed to order these tests or give you these medications? That's all your label is. So you feel better because you've been given this, oh, I have this diagnosis. I feel so much better. Now I know what's wrong with me. Please remember that's just your symptoms. Now you've gotten a title for it. Why do you have a title? Because the insurance company needed that. Plain and simple. And if you can remember that, it's not about what your diagnosis is. It's not even about what your symptoms are. Why is your body acting like this? So you have to ask the doctor, why is my body doing this? Okay, if I need this medication, will this medication cure me? Will this medication,
no.
is this medication short-term or long-term? Are you putting me on this for a lifelong symptom management? Or is your goal to have me on this short-term in the acute phase, because there is a time and a place for medicine? So in the acute phase, okay, I have my prescription. So my question is, what steps do I need to take responsibility with my body and my health to be able to get off of this medication? And that's challenging because most times doctors will say to you, well, diet and exercise would be good, and out the door they go.
Sure.
It's your job to understand when he says diet and exercise, really big food changes. Stop eating processed food, stop eating sugar. Most people can't eat dairy, gluten. Gluten is really glyphosate. So you have to change what you're eating in a big way. And the old adage, everything in moderation, is a no-go. It's not everything in moderation. Just like, so if everything's in moderation, is rat poison okay in moderation?
Right.
No. So sugar is not really okay in moderation, processed foods, etc. Exercise, get up off the couch, start moving, start doing things, get outside, get your feet in the grass, get sunshine on your face without sunscreen, without the chemical toxicity of sunscreen. You need sun to get vitamin D. You need grounding to get your nervous system back in check. So it's coming up with the list and challenging the doctor to give you the answers of what can I do? I have to advocate for myself. I'm going to have to take personal responsibility. But what can I do to get off of this medication? You're going to have me back in 30, 60, 90 days. That's how medications work, how appointments work. What can I do in those days to take responsibility for myself so that next time I come back, you can lower that medication or take me off of that medication?
That should be 101.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be like written down. If you haven't already, you should write that down so people can print out that PDF and be like, that's 101. That's the stuff you must.
Yeah, and I love how you say it because it's so true. I mean, we're so wrapped in, they just gave us a pill, I'm good. It's like, well, that pill is going to cause your liver to be overtaxed because of all the toxins, causing more problems, right? Mm-hmm. And now they say, okay, well, now you need this other pill for those symptoms because they're only taking care of symptoms instead of addressing the cause. And I love that because most doctors, they'll just say, yeah, change your diet because they really don't know. I mean, they're not trained when it comes to nutrition. Mm-hmm. They have like maybe 2 hours out of all those years of training.
Right, it's a seminar for them.
Yeah, it's like, don't have sugar if you have diabetes, and there it ends. You know what I mean? It's nothing in depth. And I love how you said that because I think most doctors really don't know. And that's why they're quick to say that and then they're off. But I think it's up to us to really figure out, what do I need to change in my diet? I can't just say, I'm eating healthy as I eat, this fried chicken this cupcake.
Well, I fried it in canola oil. What's the problem?
Yeah, and even that's not it. I mean, there's so many things that when you start looking at these, even the oils we're using, right? You can't really understand it. In fact, just water. Simple water. Mm-hmm. Most people, we should be drinking spring water, but most people go and get the
purified water with added minerals for taste.
Which then you find out those minerals are really bad for you. So you're thinking you're doing a good thing, but if you do more research, you get more in depth of What am I drinking? Is it healthy? Are there any dangers in the stuff they added to it? And that's how you start really kind of cleaning out your cabinets and your refrigerator.
No, and I think you guys also touched on something amazing when you said that you're your own advocate for sure. But Lourdes and I, when last we spoke at the Truth About Cancer, one of our points to people was, look, I don't need a medical degree because I'm not looking to practice medicine. Having said that, I can learn literally everything that a doctor can learn. If I so desired, I can go to the Harvard Medical Library and just go nuts with all those books and read up on all of them. If I'm that type of person, I just don't want the degree. I'm not planning to practice medicine. But you could be as educated as a doctor.
Which, by the way, you know, and it's always been my thing that kind of drives me a little nuts when they call prescription drugs medicine. Is it a drug or is it medicine? You know, and it's like, and if it's medicine, then why doesn't it heal? Because that's what medicine does.
We have family members who will not give up on their prescriptions. They swear by it. We have some family
even
members,
though they have these side effects.
Yeah, some side effects so severe that they're looking at like Shanna, like you were saying, like they might lose parts of their body over this, but it's necessary. I need it. So it's crazy. So we can go crazy with that topic, but we're not going to because we do need to take a break.
Yeah.
So we will come back. And then we really want to talk about a product that you guys both like. It's called the Root.
Oh, the Root brand.
The Root brand. I wanted to say the Root beer, but I knew that wasn't right.
Yeah, Root beer.
I knew that wasn't right.
Yeah, no. But when we come back, we'll go into a lot more because we don't want to, rip you guys off from some great information here. And those that I have reached out to, those know what we're going to talk about. And I mean, they heard the word Root brand, but this is a chance for them to really understand.
I just can't get root beer out of my head.
Get root beer out of your head.
Get it
Everybody
out.
remember now.
Super Digest.
Super Digest, one of the most, well, I should say, one of the strongest digestive formulas on the market.
That's, and again,
Strongest.
This makes sense, right? Dr. Newsom, but now you guys are seeing a theme, right? Dr. Newsom just does the best because
does.
that's what he does.
And when it comes to your digestive system, because that's where you get the most of, nutrition, you definitely want it to be amazing.
The top notch.
Yep, and this is like 10 types of active digestive enzymes to enhance your digestion of proteins.
Protein, fats, and carbs,
Yep.
as well as pineapple proteolytic enzyme and papaya proteolytic enzyme.
Proteolytic.
Proteolytic. It sounds like an era of dinosaurs, doesn't it?
Yeah, proteolytic.
This dinosaur was found in the proteolytic era.
I just like saying proteolytic.
Yeah, that's actually our new word now. We're just going around saying proteolytic.
And it's got pineapple proteolytic.
We never had to learn proteolytic until we met Dr. Newsom, and now we understand what proteolytic is. It's an enzyme that actually helps you break down protein.
And by the way, and carbs, and you need the enzymes to break down the proteins and carbs and the stuff that you need because that's how you get your nutrition.
Right, and
So
it's
enzymes
well,
are
this one
crucial.
has like 10, right?
Yes.
10 of types of active digestive enzymes.
Active, there's the key.
Yeah, they're not
Active
sleepy.
digestive.
They're not sleepy enzymes.
No.
They're not just like, well, okay, no, they're active. They're running
They're
around.
active.
Taking
10 types of active digestive
So
enzymes.
you want to go to www.drnewsom.com, look for Super Digest that my lovely model wife assistant is holding.
And by the way, the products we share, it's because we take them.
We're using them.
Because we love what it does for our bodies. It's really good. So you guys definitely, oh my gosh,
Digestion is crucial to your health, and that's why Dr. Newsom has created this
and when
Super
it comes to
Digest.
digestion, if you have issues with your digestive system, you're going to want Super Digest.
That's right.
Yep. Super Digest.
And we're back.
He always tries to beat me.
I try to like slyly put the timer back on, and I try to be the first one to say we're back.
And it's like,
Sometimes I win.
yeah, sometimes. Really,
That must be that ADHD kicking in. I don't know.
I tell you. So we're back, guys, and we're really excited about this conversation. I mean, if you guys could just hear the amazing conversations behind the breaks.
It's funny because we've actually toyed with the idea that we'll allow Patreons like the full uncut version, so you do get the conversations behind the scenes. But
we're still
still looking at how to do that.
How to do
or
that.
go through all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We understand.
Yes. But okay, so we're back and we want to hear the rest of the story. And then we want to go into also root brand. We want to go into people that, what one can do if they're dealing with any type of health issue.
Especially talking about today's current environment where everybody seems to be dealing with some sort of a health issue.
Yeah. And what they can do. I mean, there's so many symptoms out there, but what can one do, depending on whatever the symptom is, to kind of turn those things around?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. This is our fun stuff. This is what Shanna and I love.
I know. Now our brains are going like, okay,
Right.
let's level this out so it makes sense.
Okay, so where do we want to start, Shanna? I think we should start in the current environment.
Sure.
Because that is what is on everybody's mind. It keeps recycling, it just, when you think it's gone, it's back. So I think we should start there, and then we'll just have that go into, this is really the basis for every illness or disease that you have. Same thing. So we'll start with today's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll keep it family appropriate.
Yes.
Yes.
We haven't had to bleep anybody yet, but we'll do it.
All right. So Jill and I actually work with a wonderful friend of ours. Her name is Dr. Christina Rahm.
So I had this dream about, how old was I? 26? That there was going to be this horrible war on people's health. And it was going to be all over the world. And it's interesting. We went to this healing group. They were a religious group. And they had a prophecy over me. And they said, there's going to be, and I had already had this dream. So this was very interesting. They said there's going to be a war on people's bodies. And you're going to help provide solutions. And I had had the dream. So I've always had dreams since I have been little. In fact, every formula I've made has been a dream. So I had started having these dreams, and actually when the group told me what was going to happen, I didn't like it, because I was like, what? No, this isn't going to happen. But I'd had the dream. So I thought something's going to happen. And when I worked on Clean Slate, in my mind, my goal was to help clean the body. And I coupled what I had known from the dreams and what someone had told me I was going to do with the fact that in the pharmaceutical biotech industry, I had always been told repetitively we would have biological warfare.
Most dynamic, brilliant, but most humble people that we have ever met. And we just adore her so much. And Dr. Christina has a really long background story. That's going to take a really long time. So we can maybe do that another time. But pretty much what she has done is Dr. Christina's background is she worked for Pfizer, Alexion, Johnson & Johnson, Biogenetic. She did a lot of those things. She was on the medical side of those companies. She was involved in creating or releasing and doing the studies, the efficacy studies for a lot of the products they have now on the market. Whenever she first started at Pfizer was whenever they were releasing the little blue pill for men. So she was involved in getting that out for people and everything. Wonderful woman. She had a bout with, she had a spinal tumor, brain tumor, 3 different forms of skin cancer that she herself had dealt with in her own life. And at the same time is working for these pharmaceutical companies. She loved what she was doing because she felt like she was helping everybody. But as she got back into it and everything, she realized that it really wasn't what she thought it was. And she wanted to actually help heal people. So she went back to school and she got her nanotechnology degree and also her bioengineering degree. So she has her nutrition degree from Cornell. So she has a nano and bioengineering degree from Harvard and Cornell for her nutrition degree. So she's a brilliant, brilliant woman. But because of the state of the world that we're in right now, and because of her bioengineering degree, Dr. Christina, she's one of 20 people that did that degree. So there were only 20 people that Harvard offered it to. Everybody else was generals in the military or higher ups for the pharmaceutical rep industry. What she knows how to do is how to reverse the biological engineering warfare that's going on against us right now. I think that's probably the easiest way to say it, because she was there being taught along with everybody how to do it. So she's the only one that is using that for the good of humanity to reverse it. and to know how to take it out of the body, how to eradicate it, how to actually remove it. We're not talking about just, selling some product. We're talking about actually going down to the root level. She wrote a book called Cure the Causes, phenomenal. Talking about actually curing the cause of what's going on in the human body, because like Jill and I believe that we were created to heal. God gave us the ability for our bodies to heal. So what's going on in the world and what the enemy has done is they have put signals and blockers in our body to block that from happening. So what Dr. Christina has done is she has used the gifts that the Lord gave her to actually remove those blocks and the toxins that are breaking down the body, and given the body an ability to regenerate. But not just, it's not supplements, it's actual nutraceuticals. They just coined the phrase quantum ceuticals. She literally builds them to operate on a quantum level frequency within the body, to actually work from the frequency level out so that your body can actually do what it needs to do to heal. So it's not the silver bullet, but it removes the bad to support the body. So the body is what heals, because that's what God created our body to do.
Unbelievable. I love it. How beautiful is that? Like taking the thing that's causing the stuff to turn off, because I've said that God has made our bodies so perfectly that all we have to do is give it the right fuel. But if there's something in there blocking it, I love the fact that she, was able to just go in there and say, oh, we'll just remove those things that are blocking the very thing that's supposed to be, it's stopping you from healing, get that out of the way. And then we're putting these things in that help your body start regenerating back to the way it should be. That's amazing.
Yeah, we're perfect machines.
That is one of the things that most people that come out with either a detoxification or a supplementation miss the other portion of it. So she believes in treating the entire body, your mind, body, and soul. So eradicating the bad from the body, at that exact moment when you're eradicating from the bad, eradicating the bad out of the body, taking the heavy metals out, it's called biological replacement. It's immediately giving trace minerals back at that exact time. So it's different than taking like a powdered zeolite and then saying, oh, I'm going to take some trace minerals. It has to happen at the exact same time. So not only does she embed the zeolite so it's bioavailable silica, it's raw products. Shanna's always better at explaining this. I'm actually going to let Shanna go. You do it.
Okay. So Dr. Christina's foundation formula is called Clean Slate, and that's what it does. It actually cleans the body and gives your body a slate to actually regenerate and heal with. So what she does is she takes zeolite is amazing. I know it's a big hype word. It has been for about the last 20 years, especially the last 5 or 6 years. It's been really, really big. Phenomenal thing. The problem, and it does great things in the body, but what Dr. Christina understands is the problem with just doing a zeolite is you don't have the regeneration. So like Jill touched on is biological replacement, bioidentical replacement. So whenever you have a heavy metal, let's say you have mercury in the body, it's actually displacing magnesium. And the reason it can displace magnesium is because you're deficient in magnesium. So if you weren't deficient in minerals, which we can't get anymore, if you weren't deficient in minerals, you wouldn't be able to hold on to the heavy metals in the body because they bind to the receptor for a mineral. So whenever you remove that heavy metal, you have to have that mineral at the same time as the removal, or else you cause other degeneration within the body. And that's the only problem with just a normal zeolite is, even though it's great and it's been used for a long time, they used it in Chernobyl to remove the radiation from people, and they actually dumped it on Chernobyl to keep the radiation from spreading. So it's a phenomenal thing. It's a natural mineral, but it doesn't have the ability to regenerate, and it doesn't go into the cellular. So what Dr. Christina did is she took the purest form of clinoptenolite, which is the type of zeolite, because there's a ton of zeolites. The type of zeolite she took is clinoptenolite, and she created a way, she's so genius, she created a way to unlock the silica so you're not wasting it. Because the negative with some is that whenever they clean it, it destroys the silica, and the silica is what you need for regeneration.
Wow.
So she takes that and she unlocks it. She's the only one, because of her bioengineering degree, she knows how to do it. Nobody else does, because the other 19 people aren't using it for good. So she takes it, she unlocks it, Then she encapsulates it in vitamin C so that it can get into the cell. So it goes in through the vitamin C receptor and it goes into the cell, and then it brings with it the trace mineral. She uses sea salt from the Great Salt Lakes, which is very similar to our own blood. So it's easily absorbed into the bloodstream. So it helps with mitochondrial waste. It makes the cell membrane beautiful and plump again instead of hard or falling apart, depending on what's going on in the body. And so it removes it. And instead of dumping it in the bloodstream or using the body's natural detox pathways, which will get clogged because we can't process mercury and aluminum and cadmium. They're not meant to be in our bodies. So that clogs our detox pathways. So it will remove it for the detox pathways so nothing gets clogged. So you actually have real elimination from the body, not just a detox. It's actually really eliminating everything from the cell into the blood, every tissue, every organ, and removing it from the body. But it's giving you the vitamin C, the silica, and the trace minerals to actually regenerate the connective tissue, the cell membrane, and to help with the heat of the mitochondria.
Now, because of that,
beautiful.
does that assist in like a detox flu, which is a common thing when people are trying to detox and all those bad stuff comes out and it's like, yeah, ooh.
Yeah, well,
Does it help with that, or is that the idea?
Yeah, and not just that, like any colds or general viruses that we have now, or you got people that fight cancer, but they don't want to do things. They want to go the natural way. It's almost like it can help get that stuff that caused it in there out. Because I mean, it's down there. That's mitochondria.
It's like they said at the beginning. It's all about the root cause.
It is. So it will. It's a negative charge. So it'll remove the heavy metals, the positively charged mycotoxins. So your molds, your heavy metals, your plastics, your VOCs, volatile organic compounds like glyphosate. It'll remove, because glyphosate actually changes and alters your DNA structure. So it will remove the glyphosate. It'll remove all of that that's actually causing the disease. Cancer is an epigenetic condition. So, you have your P450 genes that are turned off, which should turn on to defeat a cancer tumor. That's what it is. It's a cancer suppression gene. But the heavy metals and the toxins actually keep it from switching on to help your body. So what it does is it can actually go in, because Clean Slate can go in cellular. No other zeolites have been studied. They have to be injected. So Clean Slate actually goes in because of the vitamin C. So it will go in and it actually helps activate those SNPs that have been turned off, like MTHFRs, the P450 gene, anything like that. And it turns it off and removes the heavy metal that's causing it to stay off. So your body can switch it on, so that your body will start doing the healing and it'll start dissolving the cancer. It also removes the heavy metals that have been built up as a protection, as a tumor for your body. So it's an extracellular matrix, the cancer tumor, a lot of them are. So that is your body suppressing and holding on to the toxic hot acid of the toxins, acidosis of the blood. So it's very, very hot in nature for the body. So the body will actually encapsulate it to try and protect you. So whenever you cut into that to remove a tumor, you're actually releasing all of those toxins into the body. And that's how a lot of it spreads.
Wow.
So it'll remove all of those things. It also removes viral particles and everything too. So it will remove the current one.
That is awesome. So, okay. So I'm so this is so exciting. I hear this stuff and I'm just like, I just bathe in it. It's just so great. So after this break, we're going to continue on this Clean Slate. The depth of, you guys are listening to this. Hello. Now you guys get why I've been sharing this information, because it's that great. But we'll go more into the Clean Slate and the rest of the other products and what they do after this break.
Dr. Newsom's Inflamagon.
It's powerful anti-inflammatory botanical formula.
So this bad boy's got curcumin, and he gets that curcumin from organic turmeric root.
Yes, which is important. We want organic. And freeze-dried frankincense oil.
Freeze-dried frankincense oil is boswellic acid, actually. Boswellic acid.
I love these words.
I know. Our vocabulary has been so expanded since we started working with Dr. Newsom.
Yes.
And that's boswellic acid is important because it's one of the things that help you. It actually helps with inflammation, but it also is an inhibitor for tumors.
Yeah.
So
So why not prevent or get rid of if you have one of those things or you don't know you have it yet?
Yeah, right. And why just jump ahead of it? Because this formula is bound to Dr. Newsom's unique fulvic acid and humic acid.
Which, by the way, those 2 minerals that you really do need if you want to stay healthy. And it gives maximum absorption and anti-inflammatory action. People.
You're likely dealing with inflammation.
Yes, because most people don't realize that if you end up with certain pains and aches, that's inflammation. Inflammation causes aches and pains to let you know there's an issue.
And prolonged inflammation is really what causes these chronic illnesses, up to and including cancer. So
we take this as well, and it's amazing. In fact, real quick tidbit, even as a thin person, I always had this little pouch, but since I've been taking this, I'm like, I must have had inflammation because that little pouch is gone.
Goodbye pouch, no more punch. So you want to go to www.drnewsom.com, get that anti-inflammatory formula of his in Inflamagon. I love the name Inflamagon.
Like it's gone.
Inflamagon.
Inflam is gone.
We love it.
We do.
I'll let that one slide. We love it. We know that you love it too because look, inflammation is something that you really want to work out of your system right now.
Yeah, like if you want to avoid health issues, when you have too much inflammation just creates, and especially if it's consistently going on,
right.
It causes diseases, it causes illnesses. Who wants to be sick?
And you can trust Inflamagon because it comes from Dr. Newsom, and
we trust it.
We trust it, and we love it.
And we take this sucker daily.
Love it.
We like to prevent.
We're back. Okay. You told me that I had to stop trying to
outbeat me. It's like, stop it.
So next episode, I'll just try again without telling her. We are back, and we were talking about the
clean slate.
Clean slate, and Jill, you actually brought some for us to take a gander at.
I
I'll
did.
you guys just go for it.
So that's this lovely little bottle. They're drops. They're really effective. So of course, on the bottle, it says, 10 drops twice a day. We really highly recommend. It's effective. It really works. 1 drop under the tongue twice a day is a great place to start. Go ahead and build up from there. But it's sort of a marathon, not a sprint. And just take it slow. You have to listen to your body, a little intuitive listening to your body. How am I doing with 1 drop? Should I do 2 tomorrow? Is 2 good for me? Is 5 good for me? So you just listen to your body. But Dr. Christina makes this with intention. So she sings to it. She plays worship music. She uses fracking, magnets, polarization, frequencies. And so it's very special. It's very unique. It's very intuitive, and it is very effective. So just start nice and slow, build up from there. It's a wonderful product.
If you guys see right here, here's the link where you can go to it and use the referral code, which is create option C, as you see right here. And definitely get clean slate, but there's more than just clean slate. So
the root right now.
yeah, so we're going to the next.
Yes. And I want to say it's really, really important that you actually use what's on the screen right now to actually go order, because Jill and I love to help support people. But if you Google it, you won't be able to be supported by Jill and I or Lourdes and Chris. So just make sure you actually use what's on the screen.
Okay, so we covered clean slate, which is amazing. But there are 2 more things. Actually, there's 4 more things, but we're just going to keep it a little more streamlined today because Dr. Christina created the Trinity. So the Trinity, it's a trio of products, clean slate being the first. So this little sachet here called Restore is the second. So you just rip off the top and it's kind of like a little Capri Sun. You just drink it. She definitely recommends to spread this 1 packet out over 3 times a day. The more you can keep that plasma level, the better. She said if she were to do it over again, she would have made 3 separate little, like break off things, but just throw it in the fridge. I love mine cold. People will freeze it. People like it. My family's a little split. We're half cold, half room temperature. I honestly think it has to do with the bacteria in your stomach. I don't know. It's a different taste for everybody. Everybody has a different preference. What I love is it has like this little tingle. So you hold it in your mouth and it gives you this little numbing tingle. I don't know. It's just, it's amazing. You can just feel how it works in your body. But this has turmeric curcumin, black seed oil, resveratrol, aloe vera, apple cider vinegar, but it's quantum nano emulsion technology. So it's bioavailable to the body. So it's different than taking, if you set each one of those out on your counter and you try to guess what recipe you would need to accomplish this, you still wouldn't accomplish it because it wouldn't be bioavailable to the body. The products in here, the all natural ingredients in here, the sourcing, it comes from Dr. Christina's ability to source it due to her background. She's able to get things that other people aren't really able to get. Everything in here is completely natural, but I know all of us are out there listening to all of these different doctors, and they all have these different theories about this is in our body and that is in our body. I have yet to find anything that somebody has put out there that hasn't already been in the Trinity. Right. It's already been covered, taken care of. Mm-hmm. This also supports the immune system, stops the cytokine cascade, and then it also weakens the spiky thing that is in the world right now. So this is really important, along with the clean slate, because this takes it out, and then this restores the microbiome, the gut microbiome, and it really helps the regeneration process. So each thing that she created, each product she created, builds off the next. So this eradicates, right, and supports and regenerates. This also eradicates fungus and yeast and mold overgrowth, and then it starts the regeneration process as well.
Yes, that's one of her favorites for her own Lyme.
Yes,
that she uses for her Lyme is those two products, the Clean Slate and Restore. So if you're suffering with Lyme, phenomenal. It removes the fungus and everything. What's going on in the world right now, it's actually not a virus that's really hurting people. It's actually the fungus. Mm-hmm. So there's people who we were talking to her not too long ago. She was talking about how they've actually done cadavers where whenever they do an autopsy, that people's brain actually has mushrooms growing out of it from the fungus. There are two types of black mold that were never known in the human body before, but have been emerging this last 2 years. So fungus, what's going on is your immune system's being weakened by the stuff going on right now. And then the fungus proliferates. So it's causing all of these things. So Restore is antifungal. It's also anti-cancer. And one thing to know whenever you look at Christina's formulations and what she does with her raw ingredients is she actually does a DNA test and a genetics test on every one of the ingredients. So every plant or root that she uses, she does a DNA test and a genetics test to make sure there's no glyphosate, there's no toxicity within the strand and the life of what is being sourced, which until we met her, I didn't even know that was possible. No. So I guarantee you she's the only one that knows. So it's really, really important.
So then the Restore is really important because it also does, like you said, it gets rid of those little spiky things, but it also then repairs and kind of, takes care of those.
Yes.
And it sounds like at a cellular level.
It does. Absolutely. It puts a blockade around the cell to stop the spiky things from being able to attach.
Beautiful. You guys listen to this? It's like, make sure you go to this link, use the referral code, get these two things, but there's more than just those two things because there's three. Yeah, we're definitely have to get you guys back on the show.
I know. So I'm going to, because it's the Trinity and there is three things, I would like to just very quickly, we can do this one a little quicker. So this little golden pill of happiness here is called Zero In. The ingredients in that, so again, curcumin, velvet bean seed. Did I say that right? Sometimes I get that.
Velvet bean seed, yep. Mm-hmm.
2 kinds of amino acids. So this one is really good for cognitive function. It's known to help with Parkinson's. The ingredients are good for with Parkinson's, ADHD, autism. There's Dr. Christina, one of her doctors on her scientific board is a pediatrician, top pediatrician in Slovenia. And she uses these products on all of her pediatric cases, and she has been known to reverse autism, and they have case studies on it. It's amazing. So again, we're going to start really slow. So these are safe for kids, but kids need less than adults, and adults should be starting slow also. So kids should also be starting even slower. Low and slow, you can break that capsule open, a quarter of it in some applesauce or some yogurt is no problem. You can put it in a smoothie. It's amazing. It's also adaptogenic. So we've talked about intuitiveness. So if you wake up in the morning, oh, I need energy. Zero In is amazing for energy, gives you energy, gets you through your day. That midday, oh, I think I need a coffee. Take a Zero In, see if you need a coffee. At night, when you want to clear your mind and be able to sleep with a clear mind, Zero In is really good for that too. So we always say to try it in the morning, see how your body works. Everybody's body is different. It is amazing for athletes. And the more athletic you are, the more your body craves and loves dopamine. So it's a natural dopamine booster. Then the more Zero In somebody needs. We find that like Shanna her kids are athletic. Her son plays basketball and he starts with 2 in his day. And then right before a game, he'll take another. So you can take up to 4 a day. Those that aren't super athletic, I only need 1 a day. My kids take 3 a day. It really just depends on your needs, how your body responds to it. But it is amazing. If you have ADHD, this right here.
Yes. And now, would you recommend that, anyone take it, like whether they don't have HCZ, but they just want
Oh, yes. So for energy, for calmness, just to get through your day, this world is absolutely crazy. Every day brings something new, right? You're stuck at home, working at home while you're trying to homeschool your kids. Everybody's walking in and out, what's for dinner, what's going on. And, moms get that like, oh my gosh, overwhelming feeling. It's great to bring that down. So it's very supportive in basically anything you need. So if you need to, we do our lives every Tuesday. So sometimes on Monday night, I'll be talking to Shanna and we'll be working really late and I'll take a Zero In so I can focus. We'll get our slides done. And then as soon as I shut my computer down, I turn off the lights and I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
So how one product can make you focus in and zero in. And all of the names are intentional, by the way. And then once you shut down, my mind was clear and just straight to sleep I went.
It's also a hormone regulator. So it regulates your hormones. So this particular Zero In is what brought me out of menopause.
So this is great for even people that are actually, there's a lot of women now that are dealing with a lot of hormonal issues, including early, when their menstrual stops.
Yeah. Really.
Perimenopause.
Menopause. Thank you. Yeah. So many people are experiencing menopause and issues. I've never had that issue, but I know that many have. I've talked to many where they're actually taking, a prescribed pill.
Sure.
Right.
Because they have these hot flushes and all these issues and stuff. And I can't even imagine what that would be like. I'd be like, I don't want to keep having these moments in my, personal summers, but I totally get it.
So this is where we encourage people to come into our Facebook group. Again, the Detox Girls, come into our Facebook group because we have a hormone video. We have a 2-part thyroid series. We have liver and cholesterol. We have seasonal affective disorder, hair loss. Why can't you lose weight? Help me out, Shanna. What other amazing thing? Oh, we have
the digestive system.
Yes, we have a 2-part Lyme series that we just finished.
Now that you mentioned Lyme series, because I really like this, I got reached out about a month ago from a group that it's all about Lyme disease and all the sufferings they're going through. Is this something like the Trinity, or what would you recommend for somebody like that? That's, there's so many people that are dealing with Lyme disease.
So because Dr. Christina had Lyme at 19, she actually lost her memory. She fell into a bed of ticks. And she got Lyme disease. She was in the ICU and she lost her memory. This was in her first year of college. She was 19. And so it's very near and dear to her heart. So Lyme is very near and dear to her heart. She deals with it herself. She talks about the spirochetes. So that is why we did the Lyme series. And then we also have a gentleman that we work with. He has an app for tracking your Lyme symptoms so that you can talk to your doctor.
Oh.
It's really nice. He's trying to get a system for people to be able to talk to each other and then track your symptoms, print it out, take it to your doctor. And he uses the Root products and he's having phenomenal success with that. So, but this is what Dr. Christina created for her own cancer, her own Lyme, for her own family. She comes from a family of Parkinson's and cancer and Alzheimer's. So she needed something. It's not about the label. It's not about, I have this disease. Will this work for this disease? That it's not what that's about. It's about, remember, we talked about that, right? Why do we get a diagnosis? Simply for your insurance company. It's about getting to the root cause. So she, regardless of your diagnosis, get to the root cause, eradicate the bad out of the body, protect and support the good in the regeneration. And as simple as that concept sounds, you have to understand the number of years that she went to school for her to be able to create all of this. And she went back during, I think it was 7 years it took her to create Clean Slate. And she went back to school twice to do it. So yes, the concept is very simple. Yes, using the Trinity is very simple, but it wasn't simple to her. It was years of research. And so we're just grateful that she took all of her research and knowledge, formulated something so amazing, and then said, here is this simple way for you to get to the root cause of the problem.
I love that. I love the fact that, and you're right, it's just a label. And
Right.
because it's a label, we have to get people to understand that whether it's Lyme disease, cancer, kidney issues, diabetes, it's so dementia, all those things. The root cause, really, when you go to the root cause and you start pulling the stuff that's causing it out, which I love the fact that there's Clean Slate that helps you get the stuff out, but it's not just, Clean Slate. Then you go and you add the Restore,
Yeah.
and then in Zero In, when you put these things into your system, it's taking care of the root cause, which is, I love the name, the Root brand.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of like taking care of the root cause, which is so funny. Even in a lot of our talks, we talk about taking care of the root cause. We talk about the tree and the branches, and this is just so in line with our belief system and what we do in our talks. So I know there's another one too, and I would love to go into it really quickly.
Relive greens.
Relive greens, right.
Relive greens.
Right.
Oh, I love relive greens.
Can we mention that, like go into that just briefly? Because I just think it's so important.
So Relive Greens is something that Dr. Christina formulated for her own cancer, because when she had cancer, she was juicing everything herself. So she was taking all of the fruits or all of the vegetables and creating this on her own. She wasn't able to find a greens product that met her needs. So she formulated it. So there's no sugar in it. It's a powerhouse full of vegetables, but there is some pre and probiotics, natural digestive enzymes, inulin, fiber. She threw a little cayenne pepper in there to help with your metabolism. So it is, I'm sorry?
Amino acids.
Oh, amino acids, right. So omegas, you would be hard pressed to find a multivitamin of this caliber for this low of a price, because it comes in a little bottle. I should have grabbed that too. It comes in a little bottle, and that one little bottle can last up to 3 months. And so you could not go to your local grocery store and buy a cheap sugar-filled multivitamin for anything close to what you can get for this.
That's great.
It's amazing. Yes. And you can just put it in a little shot glass of water. You can throw it in your smoothie, whatever makes it easiest for you. We have moms. I love creative moms. We have moms and I would venture a guess that they had boys, because everything's a competition with boys, right? So they make their green monster juice and then they have a chugging contest. And most greens are, you need 3 scoops, right? You need 3 scoops of this stuff, and it's gritty and it has a smell and it has a taste. This is 1/3 of a teaspoon, especially like when it comes to kids, a little 1/3 of a teaspoon in some water, call it monster juice and have them chase it down or throw it in a smoothie. My favorite story is I was sitting here one night, and I'm sure I'm basically sugar-free. So, but I wanted ice cream, and I'm like, how can I do this? So I did grab a frozen banana. So that was my natural sugar, a little unsweetened baking cocoa. And I threw the greens in there and I blended it all up, threw some ice in there, coconut milk. And I made it into a little ice cream. I made it nice and thick, and I'm sitting here, I'm eating it. My son came over and he goes, "What are you eating?" And I said, "Chocolate ice cream." And he grabbed it and he took it. And as mom, you're like, "Oh, you took my ice cream. Why'd you take my ice cream?" And he came back, puts the bowl in the sink. And I'm like, "Did you like my ice cream?" He goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay." And I walked away, because I knew if I said it, that he would never do it again. But I often make the ice cream, and I'm just like, "Hey, I'm making some ice cream. Do you want some?" He's no idea.
He does now.
No, he doesn't.
He's watching the show now going, what?
I will say this. He went to a festival, a music festival this weekend, 4 days with 7 of them. And when he came home, he said to me, this is before he left, hey mom, you know, that bag of stuff that you sent us last year, because, you know, last year was even crazier world, right? So I sent them a bag of stuff and I'm like, please, everybody take this every day. I want everybody to stay healthy. So he came in and he's like, hey, we were getting ready to leave to go to the festival. Is there any chance you could make me that bag? And I held up my big gallon Ziploc and I'm like, there is enough Trinity and Relive Greens in here and natural barrier support. Sorry. You can find that one on the website for all 7 of you for all 5 days. And he's like, you are the best. Mm-hmm. And I know, because they want to stay healthy. They don't want to be at this concert and have anybody get sick. So it was really important to him to support himself and his friends so that all of them can stay healthy through this whole thing. So if the secret's out, then he'll just have to deal with it.
So be
That's
it.
right. Nice. I
All
love
right.
that.
So you mentioned your Facebook group, the Detox Girls, but you guys made it easy because your website is also the Detox Girls and Instagram is the Detox Girls. So we'll have all those up there for people to be able to check you out there.
Yes.
Just looks like that.
Yeah, that's what our logo looks like. So you can find that on all of the websites. Make sure you have the at the beginning and an S at the end, because it's the Detox Girls. There's 2 of us.
Yep. And when joining the Facebook group, we have questions you have to answer to get in, and make sure that you put Lourdes and Chris show whenever you answer those questions, so we know where you guys came from.
Right. And that way we can support you. So if you're asking any questions about something that you heard here, we know not only how to tag you in something in our group, but if you ask for a referral code, then we'll know to make sure that we are giving their referral code. So yeah, I would love it. Please join our Facebook group, our Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. We have our website, the Detox Girls, all the good things. You can find us anywhere.
Yay.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming on this week. We love that this journey of ours has had us introduced to so many amazing people, and you're counted amongst those. So thank you so much. It's a fantastic conversation. We'll definitely have to have you on again.
We definitely have to have you guys on again, because it's such great information, and there's so much, guys. There's so much more that we're definitely going to have them up again in our
tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
Some more. Yes, we have all of the things. Thank you so much for having us. It's such a pleasure.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. Just
like all this information, and hello. So if you guys don't forget, we've had it throughout the show, but here's the link again.
Yeah.
If you want to get these extraordinary products that we ourselves also enjoy, go here to this link and use this referral code. So that way you are on your way to experience the very thing that we talked about on the show.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if they were here in person, my palm would be sore from all the high fives that you throw in their direction, because they were on the money with a lot of the stuff that they were saying.
Yes, and I love the science behind the stuff they talked about. I like the fact that there's all these studies that you can go on and find because they share it. It's like, these are the things you can see and why it works. So, you know, how their stories, where they were.
Yeah, that's the thing too, and like I said, we see it again and again. It's a recurring theme. There's a reason why people are pushed into this. There's a reason why people are pushed into the conversation about changing lives of others and turning that health around. And
well, you think about it, they themselves had an experience with whatever type of health that was, whether it was themselves or a loved one, which then kicked them into high gear to figure this out when doctors couldn't. And then at that time, they're like, wow, these are the things I need to do. And through them doing those things, they were able to then come together, look for, research more stuff, find more studies to then in turn help others.
Absolutamente. And the thing of it is that right now you're watching the show. I know you got some health something or other that you're dealing with, or a loved one that is dealing with. I don't even have to ask. I know you do. It's that thing that you're like, it's always bothering me. So get with it. That's the whole.
Yeah, and go onto our website, because we have stuff that where you can click on to actually get things that you can use yourself right now.
Yeah, I mean, when we're doing the juice detox because we believe that that's gonna, that's good for you.
We're doing a 30-day juice detox.
That's
Absolutely.
right. That's right. Dr. Newsom's website is chock full of information. So if you go to drnewsom.com, you can actually look at his. He's got like stories on there and blog.
Well, he's got
posts
stories, testimonies. He's got amazing
classes.
products. I mean, really, you need to check out his products if you haven't. And I know some of you guys have tried it and have contacted us and talked about the great results you're getting. So that's awesome.
Yeah. By the way, that feedback helps us too because we're like, okay, good. Yeah, we're reaching people with this.
I mean, in his book, by the way, if you haven't gotten his book, you want to get his book, The Detox for Life. It has all sorts of recipes and information, and it's it just helps you step by step on how you can get yourself healthy.
Actually, we need to get him back on again pretty soon here.
We do, definitely.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, just talking with him, he makes things understandable for me, and I go, oh, I understand now. I get that now. Yeah.
He really simplifies things for us to understand and how we can really stay healthy. And on top of his products, he's also got in July. He's got the
masterclass.
The masterclass. And it's a 3-step masterclass, by the way, free. So sign up and subscribe on his site and go to drnewsom.com and subscribe so that you can get that newsletter so you know when it's going to come in and you can sign up.
Yep, it's about gut health, which is just crucial.
Yep, that's actually the foundation in order to get healthy.
Yep. So if you haven't started following us, here's your chance because we're on social media.
Yeah, so what you can do is you can like, share, and subscribe, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, and that Instagram, including TikTok.
TikTok.
Yes. Oh, also, if you can't find us on TikTok with the Lourdes and Chris Show, you can look for Lourdes and Chris Show.
Yeah, something weird happened there. We won't get into it. No big.
The important thing is you can still find us, and you can go to our website. You can look at not just this episode. You can go onto our website and watch the past episodes that we've had.
Yeah, what is that website, my love?
The website is theLourdesAndChrisShow.com.
Oh, that's right. I always need reminding. TheLourdesAndChrisShow.com. Yeah, if you subscribe right there as well, you'll be up to date with what we've got going on, any speaking events that we got coming up. There's also where you can donate to help us continue this. Like we said, it's not just the show; it's us advocating, it's us being available to other people, and it helps immensely when you do.
And there's two sections where you can donate. So just go there. There are 4 different types of options. One has 2 options. The other has the other 2 options, and we also have a GoFundMe. So if you go on our website, you will see those places where you can donate. You also will see the about and products that you can check out if you're interested in things that you want to buy because you want to get healthy, or any of the stuff that we talked about on our show. It's all on there. And when you subscribe, we do periodically send out a vast email through the subscription only. So in order to get what we're up to, where the events are, or what's going on, and videos and stuff we want to share, you need to subscribe.
And you can actually say hello and reach out to us via email as well on the same website. And we respond. We're like that. Well, it's like they said in the Blues Brothers, we're on a mission from God. So that's the whole point. That's why you're helping us when you do that donation. So
that's what I say.
Yeah. So we're going to see you again in a week. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you so much for your support, for liking and following and sharing. We love you.
We do.
And that's why we do this, because we love you that much.
We love all people, we love humanity.
What's up?
Which is what God pushes us, even when we're exhausted, because it's been a long day.
Yeah.
And even with all that, we still keep going. We still keep trucking on because we know this is our mission and we know we're making a difference.
That's right. So we'll see you again in a week, every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when you're going to catch us. And we'll see you then. So we love you. Have a safe week. Get healthy.
Stay healthy. Bye.